Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to a beginner's guide any percent route to Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I'm going to cut out a lot of the sort of small time-saving bits, just go over the main skips and tricks and glitches. I would recommend that you get dev mode set up for this because it will really help with you practicing all the different glitches. You know, you don't have to play through the whole game just to get to a certain bit of practice then. If you don't know how to do that, I do have a video on it already, so I will make sure I put a link to that in the description. Other than that, let's get into it. So we'll start from a new game here. There will be plenty of cutscenes throughout the game. All you have to do to skip these, if you don't know already, is press the button. It's usually the select button on controller, just the button that opens the Book of Sphinx, usually. So you just press that. Skip through any cutscenes. You'll learn where the cutscenes are the more you do this, and then you can skip them a little faster. So we start off in Uruk here. All we have to do here is collect 3 coconuts as fast as possible. So the coconuts are in the trees. You just grab a stone, drop it on a tree. I would get these 2 trees down here first because we've got to go up there anyway for the last one. So it makes sense to do that one last. I'm trying to consciously not do a lot of the little sort of unnecessary tricks here. So we'll just take it slowly. As this is a guide, we're not going to be rushing through it. So you'll come up here, speak to Horus, grab this stone and get the final coconut. Once you've got the coconuts, you can head back across here and go and speak to the spitting toad. So I'll speak to the toad, skip through the text, and maybe just do a bit of practice with lining this shot up if you're not very good at it. Realistically, all you have to do for this run is just practice. Just, you know, as long as you can complete a full run at some point, then, you know, you will be able to get better and better the more you do it. You can then practice the individual sections, make sure to smooth them up so you can do them first, you know, second time, every time you try them. So you may have seen there, you can kind of wiggle between the smaller plants. All you have to do is hit the main plant, the main big plant, to destroy them all. We'll get this Blood of Ra. And this bit you'll want to do fairly quickly because you want to do it in one cycle. So we'll pull the statue. You can't skip this cutscene, you've just got to wait through it. But you want to get to the point where you can run down here and not have to wait on any of these geezers. I mean, it's fine if you do, as long as the Blood of Ra doesn't run out. You only want to grab the Blood of Ra once. There you go. So skip this cutscene and you want to hang off the edge here as usual. No real glitches for that. Now, this is a very nice glitch here. I have shown it off before. Usually you just grab the stone, throw it at the eye. What you can do is jump near to the gate like this. Now, you don't really want to be too close that you get hit by the spikes, but it's not a huge problem if you do. It just gets you slightly out of the vision of the eye and you can run straight through. Now, this next section is the first time we hover in the run. Now, if you don't know how to hover yet, just, you know, do it normally. Go and release the burbles, go and release the boulder and hop across. But this is a fairly good place to practice hovering. I have made a video on that as well, so go and check that out if you're unsure. Essentially, the premise is you are moving forwards and then stopping over and over again. And this maintains your ability to jump. So you can see as you run off the edge, you have a small window to jump, even if you're not touching the ground. That's essentially what this abuses. and then you want to going to jump at the end, get into the loading zone. It'll take you a bit of practice. I know on the Discord we do have a picture of the spawn point, the spawn sort of sphere that you've got to jump into to appear on this side. I may have included it in the video as well, so if you're unsure, please go and check that out. I think it'll help sort of understand whereabouts you need to jump to. Again, nothing much for this section, just climb up the wall as usual. Now, I would recommend finding sort of the optimal way for you to practice individually. For me, it was before I'd learnt the entire route, I just did individual sections over and over again. I didn't realize there was dev mode either, so I ended up practicing without dev mode. I don't know if that helped or hindered me in the end, but that's what I did. So you've got to find your own individual style for learning. Is sort of my recommendation. But as soon as you've finished a route, finished a run, the learning will start to happen a lot faster. So as before, there aren't really that many skips in this section. It's essentially just following the route. And obviously you can do a lot of this in a similar sort of time if you don't do the skips. So you could run down there, grab the blood of Ra, and head up there. Or you can do the hover across here. There is another one up here. I would stick with this one for now. It is a little easier. There you go, just like that. You'll eventually get the hang of judging when you need to jump and when you need to sword slash. But again, I would recommend just finding a way to finish your run. So if you're not comfortable with doing that easily yet, or you're running out of health, just go and do it the normal way and continue on. Now, this spider fight, I would recommend standing by the gate and waiting for them to jump at you, and then just jumping before they reach you. Although these guys seem like they're not particularly interested. I think this one's blind. The AI for these spiders can be very dodgy at times. It's never consistent. So don't worry too much about it. Just stand by the gate, wait for them to jump at you, and then give them a couple of hits to finish them off. As I said, most of this section is fairly straightforward. There aren't any real skips to it. You've just got to get through it. Now, I suppose this is actually one of the biggest skips. It does cost a little bit of health. I know Daniel can do it without losing any health. I think I've only managed to do that once. You essentially just jump into the corner there, as with the previous gate, and it opens. But as I said, don't worry if you get hit. It's very difficult not to. Also, if you are low on health, there's nothing wrong with hitting a tree with a stone or killing one of those enemies just to see if you can grab a little bit extra. Now for this you can jump up on the platform. I'm not going to, I'm just going to wait for it to come down. As I said, avoiding a lot of the optimizations here, just providing you with the bare basics to finish the any % route. Although I do tend to have a force of habit to do them anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Right, there we go. That is the Uruk intro section done. So We can give that a save there. If you do like practicing in sections, I would stop at this point and then do maybe even just doing the coconuts or getting up to the first ledge with the eye. Just practice doing that fairly optimally and then carrying on. Or if you just want to get through the game once, that is also a great idea. So this brings us into the Prince section. Again, not a whole lot of sort of skips here. These first, I would say 4 sections, so Uruk Intro with Sphinx, the Prince section, the Luxor Pyramid, where you go back to Sphinx, and then Abydos. There isn't really anything you can do to skip them. So just get through the sections. It's a lot of just finding a straightforward route to do them in, rather than wandering around working out where you're going next. You're going to want to grab the Courtyard Key first, put on some clothes. Unfortunately, you can't leave the bedroom without being clothed, or even in the pink suit. Gotta have the blue one on. Grab the amulet from in here and the one from behind this eagle statue. I won't go into duplicating amulets in this video. I have already done a video on it. So if you are interested in trying that out, go and give that a watch. But I'm just going to go through all the amulet locations anyway. So that is the bedroom done. We'll come out here into the courtyard. One thing you can do, little optimization, basically costs you nothing, is come to the side of this room as you walk past means, because otherwise you'll start talking and, you know, who wants to talk? There isn't really much to say for this section, except just learn how to do it. You know, if you played the game a lot before, a lot of this will be very obvious to you. But if you are new to the game, you've decided to, you know, pick up the speedrun without knowing the game, you know, play the game through just normally once, just so you kind of get the hang of it. And you want to follow the bird around. Grab the letter, talk to Nefertiti. Bish bash bosh, it's done. So following that, we're going to head to the throne room. Grab 2 more amulets from in there and then head into the secret passage. So there is the 3rd amulet inside the 2nd closet here. Now you're going to want to pull this statue here because we do need to open the secret passage. And then come over and grab the amulet behind this statue. So in the secret passage section, first thing you want to do is go and pull this lever. That'll open the gate to Set's secret lair, where we can get the sarcophagus key and the 5th amulet. And as I keep saying, just learning where you need to go next will really speed up how fast you can complete the game. So there's the sarcophagus key. And we can grab the 5th amulet from behind here. Next thing, we're going to exit the secret passage, and we're going to use the sarcophagus key straight away. So the order we get these last 3 amulets in is essentially the fastest first. And that is because if we have duplicated some amulets, we don't want to do the slower of these 3 amulets. So this is the fastest one to get. You can skip through that. Now, you may already know this. You can jump off a little, jump back around there. So give that a practice a few times. Again, it's not essential. You can just drop down, go along that bar. And that's the 6th amulet. What I would recommend is when you grab this is to press the drop button. Well, I suppose if you're in this situation, you have to. But make sure you turn around and grab this on the way down, because that means you won't go splat on the ground, which takes a few more seconds to get up. I'm going to go back in this sarcophagus, do the other side. And after this one, we will do the final amulet, which is in the sort of really dark secret place of the palace. Don't know what it's called, that area. It's just a sort of dungeon area. So after grabbing that amulet, we're going to head to the other sarcophagus, which is by the stairs. Breaking the vases isn't required. I just enjoy doing it, you know. So this is the other sarcophagus we need to enter. Going to grab the, I believe this is the wardrobe key from in here. You can skip this one. Then you're going to head straight over to this side with the locked wardrobe, which will lead us to the final amulet. So I will show you the hovers you can do here to speed the section up. But obviously, if you aren't comfortable with doing the hovers, just do it normally, as I've said. So that's the first hover there, and this is the final amulet. Now you can do another hover off here to get to this platform. And this final section you do just have to shuffle around. Really kind of take your time with this section until you're comfortable with it, because if you do fall off, even, you know, just here by dropping slightly too early, it will send you back to the beginning of the level. So really take your time with it. A lot of the time with the speedrun, being a little bit slow and cautious will end up making you faster. We now have all 8 amulets, so we're going to go back and speak to our aunt to get the treasure room key. And speak to her again. And that is the print section pretty much done. So we're going to skip through these cutscenes, and we are in the pyramid. Feel free to give it another save, of course. Now, this next section can really be optimized. I'm just going to take it slowly. Gonna first grab this box and throw this onto that platform. Gonna climb up the ladder. Swing across, bring the platform up, and hit the lanterns. I will show you one very big, I say very big, I feel like it's very big, time save in a moment. Hit these lanterns. You can hit 2 at a time if you're able. Obviously it doesn't save a huge amount of time. So that's the first glyph key. Now what you can do here is stand on the edge of this platform and press the throw button, and the box will land right on the other platform. Then you can just use the lever to bring it back up. Save you having to drop down, place the box, and swing back across to use the lever. So just repeat it on this side, grab the glyph key, and that's done. Something else you'll need to remember along with the route itself is memory puzzles. Now, there are only 2 memory puzzles in the any% route that you need to memorize. The first one is this one, and the second one is the one in front of the blowpipe in Great Wall 1. So I'll show you that when we get to it. There isn't really anything I can do to help you memorize these puzzles, other than just practice them, rely on your memory. This one is red, blue, green, yellow, green, red. So you end up over here, and you'll also want to smash this pot to grab these 2 scarabs. We'll head through here. So you want to hit these targets here. You can jump on this to bring the box down, but you can also jump up here and turn around as you slash to gain just about enough height to hit those higher targets, which in essence means you don't need the box. And of course, this section, not much you can do to skip it. You can jump off here and kind of jump around the spikes, but if you're low on health, it's sometimes good to just take it a little more slowly. You can grab some health in the next section from the skeletons. So it's up to you. You know, you've really got to kind of manage your health in these runs. Of course, just to make sure you don't die. So we'll hit these other 2 pots, which will give us 4 more scarabs to take us up to 6. And those are all the scarabs we need from this section. And there we go. We have access to the shield. So as we enter this room, we're going to skip the cutscene and then head to the left and essentially just make our way around these skeletons and take them out. I would recommend for this doing 2 slashes and then a 3-slash combo, because if you didn't know, the last hit of a 3-slash combo actually does 2 damage rather than 1. And these skeletons have 6 health. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So we do 1, 2, make sure we don't knock them back with the 3rd hit. And you will occasionally get some health if you need it. And I'll show you why we do 2 hits first, if it's not too obvious. Because if we do that, they get a little bit of invincibility, it knocks them back and gives them a chance to attack as well. So that opens up the shield. Now, if you've got enough health, you can jump off and you will appear near the entrance. If you don't, just, run back round. And we'll equip the shield as well. If you are low on health, you can take out this skeleton if you want, just to see if he drops a little extra. And once we've shielded through this attack, that takes us to the Demon Worshipper fight. So there's, again, not much I can really say about this fight, except maybe try and hit multiple demons in one attack. Try not to get hit too much, obviously. And yeah, there isn't a sort of consistent strategy for this fight, so just try and find whatever works best for you. Then you have one cutscene to skip through, bit of text, and we can head back out. So once we head out of here, we're going to turn immediately left at the end of this corridor and use the Anubis Amulet that we've just picked up. You're going to want to be fairly fast because, as you can see, those skeletons do throw their axes at you. And that brings us to Anubis. First thing we're going to want to do in Anubis is collect the 3 pearls that the man has lost from his necklace, because he's the one who gives us the stairs key. So we'll skip through this cutscene. You can Save again. I'm going to give it a save. The first pearl we want to get is down this well. So you can just jump up there. You can also, if you're feeling a little fancy, jump and then sword slash into the well. I don't know why, it's just very satisfying. There we go, we're in the well. Now, one pearl is in this vase, this small vase here. We're also going to hit this big vase and grab the scarab from it. There are other scarabs you can grab, but that's the one I like to grab. And if you're not confident on swim glitches, just swim down, grab the key as usual, and exit. I will show you the swim glitch as well, though. Now, for the swim glitches, you're going to need a flat horizontal surface. Vertical surface, sorry. Essentially, you want to be able to swim into a spot underwater. That means Sphinx won't move. Don't know why it doesn't work with that corner. Usually corners are very consistent for the swim glitches. This one doesn't seem to like the corner. So the way I do it is fast swim towards this edge, jump, and then just mash the swim button to get through. I know I said I wouldn't be showing you a lot of the sort of unnecessary glitches, but I can't help myself. It also sort of gives you a better idea of what the route is actually like. Because obviously you want to do it as fast as possible. So you're going to jump around here, grab that pearl. Now this is rather important if you want to go as fast as possible. You want to stand here until the talk option comes up. So, it'll look like, you don't have to stand there long. Just essentially run up here until you get close enough to talk to him. And then shimmy your way along here to get to the final pearl. You're also going to want to collect the scarabs from in these pots as well. So that should bring you up to 14. Get the pearl, and then what you can do is just jump off. And as long as you've got close enough to the man, it'll spawn you right by him. Talk to him. Talk to him again, skip the cutscene, and come and use the stairs key. Now, this next hover will save you a lot of time because usually you need the zipline handle for this part, which requires getting 70 scarabs, which is, as you can imagine, quite a time-consuming process. Instead, you're going to want to hit this pot, so you've got 24 scarabs. And then you are going to hover off this bridge. Jump and sword slash, and it'll take you a bit of practice, but eventually you can make it onto this dock. You've got to be careful with this because if these pots provide you with 11 scarabs, now the boat costs 25, so if you get onto this platform and with these scarabs you have under 25 scarabs, you're essentially soft-locked. You would have to restart the game because you can't zipline back up. And if you jump off, you will just respawn back on this platform. So just make sure if you don't have the zipline handle and you're coming down here, make sure you have 25 minus 11, 14 scarabs at least when you get to this platform. Just a little warning there, but most of the time if you follow the route, you will be fine. So we're going to speak to this guy. Let's go. And that takes us to Heliopolis. So this is where the main skips in the run start to happen. If you've seen my challenge run videos, you will notice I usually skip to this point in the video because this is where we can kind of choose where we want to go for the challenges. In the any% run, of course, we just follow the set route. So once we're here, we're going to head straight towards this Eye of Ra post. Now, this will take some practice. Both of these strats will take a fair bit of practice. You're going to have to block 2 of these lasers and then jump on top of this pot. Now, once you're on top of this pot, you're going to jump here. So if you try and jump too... Oh, don't know why he's shimmering back like that. If you try and jump too close to the right, he won't grab the ledge. So you want to aim for about here. And you're going to want to jump up and block. You don't want to go too close to the right, too close to the ledge. Too close to the right, too close to the left. Just kind of go straight forwards. Make sure you block as soon as you can. Block the laser and run forwards. So this is the first difficult glitch that is essentially required for the any percent route. And this is the sword dive glitch. Now, the way this works is you are on the edge of some water, and as you are slipping in, so you can see as you get too close, you kind of slip into the water. As you're slipping in, you want to swing your sword and keep mashing it. So that's the way I would recommend to do this to start off with, is just as you start slipping in, is to start mashing the sword button. The other way you can do this, if you are kind of running there, is as you get close to the edge, you want to release the joystick to a neutral position so you're not moving. And you want to do that right on the edge, and then just start mashing the sword. So again, I would recommend turning on dev mode and no clip, so you can just get back up here easily and try again. And hopefully the controller display on this video will help you get the timing right. Once you're down here though, once you're in the water, you're going to want to swim under this target like that, or around the side, as long as you get past it, and it'll load you into the next section. From here, you can just swim forwards until you are out of the water. So this takes us to Bedouin Outpost, and the reason we come here is to grab some capture beetles. Now, normally you'd get capture beetles from Anubis when you first visit him. However, they cost 25 scarabs here, so if you come over to this pot, grab the blue scarab out of it, which gives you 20 extra scarabs. You can then run back to this tent where they sell the scarabs, capture beetles. They sell the capture beetles. Come over to this one, which gives you 5, and just buy them. And you now have capture beetles. They will also now drop from, pots and statues, etc. So once we got those, you can equip them now if you want, or wait till later. We're going to use these speed pads to head over to the top of the cliff. We're then going to hover down to Sunshine Island. Again, if your hovering if you're not very confident with your hovering, you can just jump into the water and swim across. The speed boosts do give you a bit of leniency with your hovers as well, which is quite nice. So you're just going to try and hover as far as you can over the water, and then swim the rest of the way. And this brings us to the first mummy section. So just walk forwards, skip the cutscene, skip another cutscene, and here we are. So climb up the ladder. Now, there are plenty of ways you can do this. The first one is just the normal, fairly slow route You can kind of jump a little across there to skip out some of that beam. And you made it. Now you can also incorporate hovers into this. So for example, you can hover off the corner of those boxes. You can't hover off the sides because hovers only work if you cannot grab the ledge that you are hovering off. And since you can grab the sides of these boxes, it won't work, but you can't grab the corners. So if you hover off the corners, you are able to hover. I don't think you can grab these ledges either, so just shows that these are hoverable as well. I believe you can just jump if you time it right, unlike me. You can just jump to the box like that as well. Again, I believe you can hover to that platform, but it's a little tricky. The final, and I think this is the fastest way to do it with hovers, is to just hover to the next box, grab onto it, and then repeat. Now, this is kind of why hovers are such an important technique to practice and get consistent with during the run. So once we've made our way out of this hole, there's a quick cutscene we need to skip, and then we're going to head back this way and make our way past this eye into the Impulse Planetarium section. Right, so to do this section, first off you're going to want to push this little platform here slightly further over, just enough so you can jump between these two rooms. Then you're going to want to come and grab... Is that the jewel? I'm not actually sure what's in there. Oh, maybe it's nothing. Maybe there isn't actually anything in there. But you're going to want to open that chest, skip the cutscene, and wait to be electrified. From here, you jump across this platform you just made, and come over and touch this. So this activates the launcher. You'll come over here, grab the jewel, skip the cutscene, and head into this first section. First thing you want to do, don't fall down that hole. Doesn't matter if you want to wait here each time or kind of wait until the last moment and jump. Just get across that section without falling in. And this brings us to the electric section. So you're going to want to get electrified and do this left section first. So jump across these. Now, this is a bit of a skip, but it's worth it because the platforms don't move. So it's essentially just jumping around those poles. It makes it a lot easier than if you were to actually... If you were to set those platforms spinning, I feel like it makes it a little more difficult to jump on them. And you've got to wait for them to spin round as well. So just try not to stand on this, and it should make your life easier. Anyway, once you've done that, come back, get electrified again. Come out this door, and you want to jump and hit the spider. Now, that is so you can get back up the ladder. You can either then jump from this platform, or stand on that flat platform and jump normally. Wait until the water goes, and just jump across here If not, wait until that water goes, stand on that one, and just do the puzzle normally. So that sets the zipline wire going. And now we've cleared the spider out the way, we can climb back up this ladder, grab the handle, and just wait until it takes us to the lunar key. So we're going to drop off here, open this, skip the cutscene. And one thing I would recommend, as with the print section, is as you fall off, you're going to want to turn around, grab the edge, and then drop. This gets you just low enough so you don't go splat on the floor. So once we've exited that section, we are now going to drop down this hole, skip the cutscene. We're now paper mummy, sorry. Open the door, and we're going to head over to this set of bars over here. Now, I believe this is where we get the exit key, if I'm not mistaken. It is the exit key. Jump over that chest and pull the lever. So this allows us to put the lunar key in, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Again, best to just take your time with this. Make sure you select the right options. For example, you don't want to put the solar key back in. Just make sure you select the lunar key. No need to rush. And that takes us to the next section. So what you want to do here is make sure you get set on fire and then crawl under this blue beam. I'm going to set the fence on fire here, and if you just jump down here you will splat on the floor. So what you can do is do a little hover off here just so that you don't hit the floor too hard. And straight away we're going to go and set that head on fire. I don't really know what to call it, brazier. And then head straight over here and pull this lever. So that lets us get back up. Now, a good way to time this next section is to just kind of follow the edge of the room round. It's not necessary, but it does kind of help you time when you need to jump back in here to be set on fire. So up here, across this bit, and you're going to want to do a fairly long hover over here, and then you can jump in and set this on fire. Now again, I would highly recommend practicing this, even just using dev mode to come back up here and just practice the hover going down here. I think you may actually run slightly faster or hover faster when you're on fire, which is interesting. But either way, once you've done that, you're going to want to head back over here onto the water platform, go up across here, and this is probably the most difficult hover in the mummy sections, because it really requires a perfectly timed jump there. You're going to want to do hover, press the forwards button, let's say, 4 or 5 times, and you don't want to press it too fast either. So this is going to take a lot of practice. And as I said, just practice hovers. You don't want to mash the button too fast. You want to practice moving forwards again and jumping at the same time after you finish the hover. And I would, again, highly recommend dev mode for this one, because it means if you fall off, you can just hover back up. Oh, sorry. No clip back up here and try again. Now, I did that without dev mode, and I would not recommend it. It's not fun. So when you're finally over here, just wait for this platform to extend. And that gives us the Earth Key. You're going to want to hover a little lower than that if you don't want to hit the ground. Now, wait for the water platform to go back down, ride back up on it, and we can exit the level. Now, one thing to note here is you do want to get set on fire on your way back as well. We don't need any Onyx Scarabs, by the way, for the any percent run. So if you've missed them, you know, it's nothing to worry about. We do that on purpose. So jump back across this platform and hide in this sarcophagus. Now, all we need to do, burn this fence, pull the lever, and that takes us to the end of the level. And that is Mummy 1 done. Essentially, all we need to do, put in the Earth Key, and get launched up to the exit door. As I said, just take your time with putting the keys in. There's no need to rush. And finally, you can put the key in. You can try jumping on top of it, see if you can glitch through the door. I haven't found a consistent way of doing that yet. I think you can crawl underneath the key and kind of jump through it as well. That sometimes works. But we haven't found a consistent strategy for doing that yet. Then just open the chest, skip the cutscene, or the 2 cutscenes, and that gives us double jump. So, from here, we're going to head back to Abydos. Now, this is where we have to do one of the hardest skips in the run. And that is Pass Card Skip. You may have heard of it. It requires very good hovering and a fair bit of patience. As we don't have the zipline handle, we've got to take the stairs door again. And just head around here. We're now going to take the big bridge, which will allow us to jump over one of the gates that leads to the Abydos Council. Here it is. So, the method for pass card skip. Firstly, you want to jump up on this zipline post. Now, this in itself is pretty tricky. You need double jump to get up here, and you can see him landing on it. I'm going slightly too far. But if you see that landing animation, you will be able to jump again. So you don't have to necessarily stand still on the post. If you see him land, you can jump again, and you want to jump onto this arm here. You're then going to jump around just behind the head, and finally on top. Now comes the tricky part. This is where you've got to hover, if you kind of hover towards that side wall there, and you want to maintain as much height as possible, because you want to be able to jump over an invisible wall there. Like that. There you go. So once you're through here, you can't actually make it back past this gate without doing Apocalypse. But again, this is why I recommend dev mode, because you can just no clip and try again. I would highly recommend doing a lot of practice for this one, because this is essential to the run. Otherwise, you've got to go and do both Mummy 2. Well, technically, you've got to go and do Great Wall 2 to release Keta and get the invitation. Or the... I suppose it's the pass card, isn't it? Which takes a lot more time, and in total, it's probably faster just to learn how to do pass card skip. So once you've made it past here, we then head to the council area. Now, this is another fairly essential skip. This is a swim glitch. You're going to jump off the edge here. And you can see just about here, there is a corner, which means Sphinx kind of just swims towards that corner. Once you're in here, you want to jump and then mash the swim button until you go through. Once you're through, you want to gently come back round and try and swim so you're on the edge between outer bounds and inbounds. Now, once you're swimming here, you can just swim out of bounds, and you want to head towards that pyramid just above Sphinx's head. So eventually you will see this appear. This is the council chambers. Head to the right side of this, and once you get in range, you'll start swimming. You'll get teleported up to the level and start swimming. Once you are swimming, you need to dive and then just head straight towards this loading zone here. Clip right in there. So we're now entering the Apocalypse fight. Now the easiest way, or the quickest way to enter this is to jump off the side here, do a double jump and a slam, and we'll land here. Then run over to this pillar, which will trigger another cutscene, skip that, and finally head over to this pillar. Apocalypse should then do a wind attack. We'll just run towards him and stay behind this pillar, because we need to uncover the rest of these 3 pillars before we can attack him. So as soon as he throws a fireball, you'll hear it. There we go. We can run to the next pillar. You want to stand behind this one as well, so that he hits that with a fireball, because he will always shoot towards where you are. Finally, we'll stand behind this one. We'll wait until he hits it and it's uncovered, and this will be the first one we hit. Got to hit that one as soon as we can. Hit this one. Hit that. And we want to come slightly over to the side here, just so we can cross to the next gem in time. Run over here, hit this one as soon as you can, and you should just hit him before he starts another attack. When the beams disappear, hit it again. And we can just wait out this wind attack. You can come slightly over to the side of this crack if you want, just try not to go any further. You don't want to be falling down there. Now you should hear him doing this attack, sending down some fireballs. This is fine, just run around, hit all the switches again. You will hit him once more, stay at this one, wait for it to disappear. And he won't attack at all this time. He'll wait for these bombs to disappear. So this essentially gives you a free pass to go around and hit the remaining gems for the final hit. You only need to hit him 3 times. Once you've done that, just skip the cutscene, grab the crown, bish bash bosh, you're done. This takes us back to Sunshine Island. So, once we're done here, going to head out, save again if you want to, and we're going to head straight to the boat over here. Now, next up on our list is the Pharaoh Spider. This, again, is quite a challenging boss, but if you learn the correct techniques for it, it can go by very smoothly. So we're going to want to sail to the Cursed Palace, which is where we will find the Pharaoh Spider. However, before the Pharaoh Spider, we must grab the blow darts. So we're going to head to the right first to go and see... go to Great Wall 1. We're not actually going to see Anubis, but we will grab the blowpipe. By this point, you should have the capture beetles equipped. We haven't used them yet, but this is the first time we're going to use them. So smash these 3 pots. Wait on the fire armadillo, and you want to do a 1, 2, 3 hit combo, and then capture it. Now, next we've got the almost a bullfight. The way I recommend doing this is standing by this lantern for the first one to appear, taking that one out, and then... Oh, that one just walked through a wall and disappeared. Interesting. Just take those out as fast as you can. Nothing really much else to it, apart from, as you enter, come stand by this lantern, and then you've got an easy few hits on the first one. So as you come through here, you're going to have a cutscene to skip, and then you can release this fire armadillo to burn this box straight away. Now, if you've forgotten to capture the fire armadillo, you can just lure these 2 up there. But you're also going to want to capture both of these. The most consistent way seems to be shield or block them, get behind them, and then do a full combo on them to get them down to capturable range. So once we've put that glyph key in, we're going to come up here, and we've got another memory puzzle. So as before, you've just got to remember this one. Blue, yellow, blue. Let's try that again. It helps if I remember it too, admittedly. Blue, yellow, red, blue, red, green. I admit I got that one confused with the I Starts memory puzzle. Blowpipe. Going to equip the blowpipe and head back now down. What you can do is just do a little hover off here to save you some fall damage. And now that we've got the blowpipe, we can head over to the Pharaoh Spider fight. One thing you've got to do before you leave, smash these pots again and grab one more fire armadillo. I think I already hit it once accidentally. Yeah, there we go. So 2 more hits should do it. That takes us up to 3 fire armadillos. Now, the reason we need 3 is because we're going to see Anubis later. And one of the things required is 3 fire armadillos. The rest are the various crowns from the Apocalypse boss, the Pharaoh Spider, and Geb Queen. Now, this is very important. I highly recommend saving right here, because there are many points in this where you can get soft locked. So we're going to head into the palace, and what we're going to do is glitch through that wall there. So you want to come over here, and you want to head just in that direction. This will take a lot of practice, but it's essentially just running forwards until you glitch through. So you can see we did it there. There is a certain point in this, you've got to be running. It's just slightly to the right of where we just hit. There you go. So jump to the left here, and then you've got to maneuver your camera until the scene changes. And this is what can happen if you miss the jump. You end up in the arena with no way out. If this happens in a run, as long as you've saved, you're fine. You can quit out and reload the save. If you haven't, that's essentially the run over. So let's head back up to the palace and try that again. Again, I was too far to the left there, which is why that failed. And I think because we got hit, that's not going to work. As I said, it's very hit and miss, especially with these guys jumping around. If they are really annoying you, just kill them. It's perfectly fine. It'll help you practice in the end anyway. So you're going to want to jump to the left as much as you can, and you should land just outside the arena. Gonna, for the most part, want to make sure your camera is still facing this way, otherwise it will send you back to the other area. Now, make your way along here, and at this point you should be able to turn the camera around. So follow this solid ground here, don't go too far out, and just walk into this section and jump. There you go. So let's do that again. You just want to kind of aim at that far stone above our head, just walk towards that, you'll end up in the water, and then jump to enter the room. Now, this is where we begin the Pharaoh Spider fight. So, first thing you want to do is run to the right of the Pharaoh Spider. This will make him miss his grab attack, and you can wait over here for some stones to drop. Gonna want to throw them at him, and essentially just hit him, but if you can, try and hit him with the third swing of your attack, as that does double damage. So we've currently done 3 out of 5 damage. Pharaoh Spider has 5 health total. All we need to do now is hit him with one more double swing, or we can do 2 single swings like this. There you go. That is the Pharaoh Spider fight done. It's very simple, but it can take a fair bit of practice just to get fairly consistently. Unfortunately, there are things that can happen, things that can go wrong. To deal with those is just kind of a bit of experience. They will go wrong at some points. Just try and handle them as best as you can. Overall, you just want to kind of do the fight faster than kind of a normal playthrough. So once we're here, we can skip this cutscene and grab the crown. Now this bit is very important. we're going to skip this cutscene and end up in a mummy section. Now, in this mummy section, it usually goes to a cutscene and then sends you to the 6th mummy level. But we don't want to go to the 6th mummy level, we want to go to the 4th mummy level. Now, to do this, before the cutscene hits, you want to run over to the save point and save. Once you've saved, you can quit, reload the game, and the cutscene won't play, so you can then run to Mummy 4, which is a faster level than Mummy 6, that's why we do it. If you can't get this, I think it's fine to just do the 6th Mummy level. I'm not entirely sure where you end up after that. I think you just end up in Sunshine Island, in which case I'm trying to think what's the best way to go about doing that. You might be able to boat back to Cursed Palace or something. Either way, once you've done this next mummy section, you want to head over to Great Wall 3. You want to find a way there, which is why doing Mummy 4 is better, because it's faster and it spawns you right by Great Wall 3. So we'll skip this one. We have another cutscene. Skip this one, and you want to go kind of forwards and right and straight over to this save point. We weren't quite fast enough, which was surprising there. So we are now in Mummy 6. But what we can do is quit out and reload. We will have to do the Pharaoh Spider fight again, but, you know, if you've had a bit of experience with it, it's really not too much longer. It's probably faster doing the Pharaoh Spider fight again rather than doing the 6th mummy level. Okay, let's have another go at this. So pick up the crown, skip the cutscene, wait a little on this one, and then go forwards and right. Then it should come up with this menu. That means you've done it. You just click save, and then you can pause, quit out to the main menu, and reload the save. So as you can see, we appear back in this section and don't get transported to the 6th mummy level. Instead, we're going to come over here and crawl through this hole. Now, because we've done this in a weird order, the eyes that are usually here guarding this passageway don't exist, which means we can just run straight in. This brings us to the 4th mummy level. First thing you want to do is come over here, get flattened, and pull this lever. We're going to run through here and jump through this gate. Get turned into 3 mummies. Now, there is an optimal way to do this elevator. Don't worry too much about it. Just get all the mummies up there. But I will show you. I'll attempt to show you the optimal way anyway, just so you have an idea of how it's done. There we go. So we've got all 3 mummies up. And what we're going to want to do is stand on 2 of these switches specifically. This one and the one that is diagonally opposite from that one, which is this one. So that opens the path to the jewel and the fire. Again, this mummy section is very fast as long as you've got consistent hovers. So head through here with the last mummy. Open this chest. And we'll get set on fire. from here, we want to head up this ladder. And at the end of this corridor, we want to pull a lever. Now, we want to get all the way over to the final section on fire. Normally, you've got to, get those platforms working. But what we can do is just hover all the way there. It is quite a long hover, but you can make it over here. And then you've got this puzzle to do. Again, just got to memorize this. So first, this one, and this top left one. Go back to the start. Hit this one. Go back to the start. Hit this one. And that's the puzzle done. Again, just got to memorize that. Now, this spits us out here by the Great Obelisk. But it's also very close to Great Wall 3. So we're going to run through here, and we need to get into Great Wall 3. Now, there are plenty of ways to do this. We do have the Hands of Amun, so if you don't want to glitch in, you can just push the statues. The normal way we do this is by running on these speed pads. Now, I'm going to show you all three methods. So you're going to come up onto this ledge and then quickly start hovering, do a jump, and if you don't have enough height, do a sword jump after that. Going to come around here, and then this is a very long hover, which is why you've got to be consistent. You want to go to the right side of the gate, double jump in, and you land in the loading zone. Now, if you miss that, you can either take the speed pad and go around and do it again, or you can come over here. So you see this wall is vertically flat. You can swim against it, and you should be able to swim glitch through it. There you go. You can then turn around, go through this gap in the terrain, and you can see you can swim all the way to the loading zone. So you just go behind here, swim into the loading zone, and that gets us inside. Now, of course, the final way, if you're struggling with those, is just use the Hands of Amun to push these statues into place. I'm not going to do them all, just put that one in. But you can do that if you're struggling with the other methods. Alright, so we are now in Great Wall 3. First thing we want to do, jump into the water and swim over here. This is where we do another swim glitch. So we're going to head right into the corner, fast swim against it, jump to get underwater, and then tap the swim button to get through. Head to the surface of the water, and you can just swim under all of this section. So keep swimming. The clue I usually look out for when to stop is when you hear some monsters spawning. There you go. So we'll then dive here, head upwards until, there we go, we're above ground, essentially. Swim over this way until we start falling, and then double jump back onto the platform. Again, make sure you practice it. There's nothing else really to it. You need to have the swim glitch down. You need to make sure you're kind of aiming in the right direction so that when you start falling, because you start falling once you get above water, because the game realizes, oh, you shouldn't be swimming. You're in air, you're above a water surface, so it makes you start falling. And you've got to be at a good height and distance away that you can jump, double jump back onto this. Once you are back on this, you can just head through the portal. And this brings us to Uruk Islands. We'll skip a cutscene there. This is where we need the blowpipe. Going to turn around here and hit these two targets. Now, what you can do here is very tricky. I wouldn't recommend it to start with. I cannot do it consistently at all. Oh, why have you spawned down there? It's very tricky. You've got to essentially allow yourself to move during the cutscene, but it does save some time. Normally, the platform spawns up here. You can't move until it starts moving away, and you've just got to wait for it to come back up again. So there's nothing wrong with that. Just wastes about 30 seconds, really. So we're going to come speak to this guy. We'll give it a save here. And we're going to enter Uruk Temple, I believe this is. Right, so each of these paths have codes that you've got to, or patterns that you've got to put in with the blowpipe. It doesn't matter if you already know the codes. You still got to reveal the codes to put them in. So, obviously this one is a T, it's on the ground in front of us. This is the one we go for first. Put that one in. And all we need to do is reveal the code for the next room. As you can see, we can just double jump across this gap by leaving the jumping until we're slightly off the edge of the platform. If not, you can hit that guy and go across the ladder there. Come around here, hit that, and jump back across here. Don't worry about that section for now, we will do that in a bit. So, come to this section, and we put in the shape of an H. So first thing that's going to happen here, as we go through, a cutscene is going to happen, and we're going to skip it. We're then going to be right by a worshipper of some sort. So we're just going to start attacking. Try and do two attacks at a time, because as soon as he gets away from you, it's going to be a bit of a problem. Come over here, do the same with this guy. Just 2 attacks at a time. There we go. So the green worm now spawns. The best way to deal with this is just to run around it until it attacks. Hopefully it misses. Jump, attack on it. I'm not sure quite why that missed. And what you can do is put a capture beetle down on the platform. Unfortunately, those keep missing. I do want to show you this. There you go. And it'll capture it as soon as it comes up. Now, normally, you would put the capture beetle down and also slash this at the same time. That would cause the statue here coming up cutscene to happen at the same time as that cutscene, which does save some time. But obviously, as I say many times, it doesn't matter if you don't do it perfectly. So we'll slash this. This gives us the bouncing darts. Now, this sucks, okay? The only kind of consistent way we've found to do this is to go and stand in this corner, select the bouncing darts, and fire them kind of in the middle of this bit. And eventually you will hit the target. It's very difficult to do consistently. Once you do, you can head up this rope and slash this. The final thing we've got to do, or second to last thing, I should say, is pull out these. Now, don't worry about doing this super optimally. Just pull them all out. You will have enough time. Jump on this one. Jump on this one. Jump on this one. And then hit that final rope. Normally, you would just run around here, across here, and hit the switch. You can also hover down here under a barrier and then double jump onto the platform. So that opens up the access to the slim burbles. Once you're here, best thing to do, just run off if you've got enough health, and it spawns you back at the entrance. So now we're here, we can open up this section. So this is the shape of an O, which is technically a Q because the shapes should spell out THQ, but obviously a Q is a little difficult to do on a 3x3 grid. Now, instead of going in there straight away, we're going to head this way. You can kill that mummy worm if you want. I like doing it just because it's hit me off so many times. Can give you a little bit of extra health as well. And we're going to capture 3 slim burbles. But if you're practicing, I would highly recommend getting 4 of them. Or even more. So we'll grab 4 of them. There should be plenty. There we go. I'm going to pretend I caught that ledge there. I'm going to equip these. So you don't have to get rid of all these pillars. You can stand on this ledge here, just do a double jump. You'll grab this ledge. And what you can do is stand right on top of this statue here to get across to the other side. This one, you do need a burble. Just run across here. And I think the best way to do this is set a burble going there and pull this switch. And you won't get hit. Or at least you shouldn't by the worshipper. Just ignore the worshipper. And the final one is this bit. So come and stand on the switch. This can glitch a little bit. I know I've heard of a lot of glitches happening with this one, which is why I grabbed 4 burbles just in case. You're just going to send it along the platform and into the wall there. If you do have plenty of health and aren't worried about it, one thing you can do is stand right by the pillar, use the burble. And that didn't work, but usually it will blow up straight away rather than having that charge up period. Just a bit of a... I'm not even sure if it's really a time save you can do. And that's it. Now you just exit the Uruk Temple. One thing you can do here is fire quickly using the bouncing darts, run forwards and grab the glyph key. And that saves a cutscene, essentially. There we go. So, one cutscene skipped. We've got the glyph key. Skip that cutscene and put it in. Now, all we have to do is get to Geb Queen. So, if you are worried about the Geb Queen fight, which you should be, to be honest, it's a tough fight. Make sure you save there. We're going to go to this section on the right first. Now, the tree creature here can be quite a pain. So, if you really want to, you can fire a dart at it to kind of send it to sleep. So we're going to come over here. We'll send a dart at the tree creature. I'm not sure why that didn't hit, actually. Maybe bouncing darts don't work. But essentially, I hate that tree creature with a passion. So we're just going to run past it. Send the statue across. There we go. One thing you can do, throw the statue at the swordsman. Just to kill it instantly. Doesn't always work, but it's worth a try. I would just ignore the Is it the Nose Needler, I think it's called? It's not worth your time trying to kill it. These guys, if you are low on health, you can kill them. But I think, yeah, we are absolutely fine. They're probably not going to drop any health. But you can kill them if you need a little extra, because the Geb Queen fight can cost a lot of health. Right, let's get in there. We've got the key from that chest. There is a worshipper here and an axeman, but we can just run right past them. And this is the start of the Geb Queen fight. First thing you want to do is skip this cutscene and then run backwards. Sounds counterintuitive, I know. Just run backwards, stand about here, and the Geb Queen will shoot the blue balls at you straight away every time as long as you run back far enough. First thing you want to do, release one spider, and then jump back down. So you can just get hit by that to increase the chances of the spider actually hitting the Geb Queen. There we go. And then you're going to want to try and hit it on your third swing again to do double damage. Now the reason we only do one spider at first is because as soon as the Geb Queen gets down to about 2 health remaining out of 6, she opens up her like little minions, which distract the spiders and make this whole thing a lot more difficult. We then release the last 2 spiders. Get a double hit in. And the final double hit. And there we go. Again, it's going to be very difficult to do that on your first time. All I can recommend is if the little minions spawn, try and take them out as fast as possible without getting hit too much. And it is a very tough fight. So don't be too disheartened if you find it tough. So once we've done that, make sure we can jump onto platforms. That would help. I swear I've done this run quite a few times. I can jump. Grab the crown. And this will send us back to Sunshine Island. We now have the Anubis Amulets as well that we can use. So we're going to head straight to Anubis, because we have all 3 crowns and the 3 fire armadillos, which is everything that we need to go to the final battle with Set. This is right at the end of the run. So all you're going to do, come over here and skip a load of cutscenes, a load of text, and do that a few times. One more time, I think. There we go. So, we are now on our way to Set. There's a little cutscene to skip there. Again, if you're not too confident about this section, make sure to save. So, you can do this, normal way. Just kind of jump across here. I think you can hang here. Yeah, you can hang here to stop it. And normal way is to kind of smash these open with burbles. But you can hang off the edge here, and the laser won't target you. From here, you can just run straight to the end. The laser won't hit you. It looks like it will. It's kind of a scary moment, but it won't hit you. Another way to do this, which is the faster way, also a lot more difficult. Hide here. Go right up against this wall here. Hide behind there. Drop down here. And then, as before, just run to the end. So there are plenty of ways to do that without grabbing the burbles. There we go. Okay, final set fight. Let's do this. Again, with set, you want to try and get in some double hits. If not, that is absolutely fine. So, set will always start off with the fire attack. You can just stand kind of back here. And okay, no, you do get hit. I was kind of trusting Switer on that one. That's fine. I'm pretty sure you can stand back there and not get hit. Or another good way is to just jump in the lava between the fire hands, and you actually take less damage. You can jump on the inside of those gates there, and when Set's hands are closed, begin your combo, and the third hit should be able to hit him fine. Usually, I want to get to a position where one of these guys starts on my right, and then I kind of just lead them round while Set's building up his next attack. So we'll stay in this little section here. As Set comes out, wait for the gates to come up again. And we can jump around them to get to Set faster. So again, take your time. When Set's hands are closed, begin your combo. And then on the third hit, make sure you hit his head. Head back around to this one. So we've got another robot on our right side. It's not imperative. It just kind of, I find it helps me with the spacing of the robots, because if a robot is trying to attack you while you're trying to do that combo on Set, it can really mess you up. So you can see this robot starts fairly far from where Set is, giving us plenty of time. Hands closed. And that is it. That would be time right there. That is the entire any percent route. There are a lot of little optimizations you can do, a few of which I probably haven't covered, but they're not the main focus. The main focus is skipping a lot of the story with things such as glitching into the Pharaoh fight, doing the sword dive to Bedouin Outpost, doing the swim glitch into the Apocalypse fights, pass card skip, and so on. Oh, and also getting into Great Wall 3, that's another one. So, once you've done all of those, got all of those practiced, just make sure you do a full run. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, just complete a full run. It doesn't matter if it takes you, 3 hours or whatever. As long as you've got a full rundown, that is a really good basis to start with. Then you can kind of start practicing individual sections, using dev mode to practice specific glitches over and over again, and then kind of just chain it all together. You will get faster over time, muscle memory will kick in, and your time will just increase and increase. I hope you found this really helpful. If you have, please leave a like, tell me what you thought of it, tell me what I could do to improve, or any specific glitches or sections that you'd like me to do a more detailed tutorial on. Make sure you leave a comment and I will look into that. If you want more of these videos, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!